Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog. And today we are discussing how to increase your word count. If you saw my last video, which was how to reduce your word count, we're now going the opposite way. So this video is for underwriters and how you can reach that word goal. I would like to emphasize before I give you guys these 8 tips on how to increase your word count, only add meaningful words and content to your book. If you're just trying to increase your word count to hit a word goal, but your story does not need it, don't do it. Before we get into those 8 tips, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. Your continuous support means a lot, so thank you guys so much. Let's get straight into it. Number 1, show, don't tell. If you see my previous video on showing versus telling, the link is above me now if you have not seen that. It is a pivotal moment in your work of when you decide to show over telling. And by show versus tell, we mean to show a thing instead of tell it. So telling would be, they are my best friend. Showing would be showing the reader these two characters being best friends and letting the reader come to that conclusion themselves through the character's actions. Sometimes this can mean losing words, such as they ran quickly would be turned into sprinted. But in a lot of cases, this can mean more words. So as I said, my example of they were best friends can turn into Harry was coming round again tonight to play our weekly game of charades. You can see where I'm going with this. Number 2, structure. If you are underwriting and you're generally not getting that many words on paper, it could mean you're missing out a vital part of a writing structure. So the simplest structure is incite an event, rise in action, climax, fall in action, and resolution. If you've missed out one of these sections, then you're going to have less words, and it will also mean that your book feels like it's lacking something. The content isn't there. Number 3, characterization. We do not want one-dimensional characters. We want grey characters. We want people who have flaws, who have good points, people who have a past, people who have a future. Your characters should be distinct and they should develop throughout the story. You don't want a character to be exactly the same when they started to at the end of the book. There should be some development in there, and development equals words. Number 4, describe. This can go both ways. You don't want to over-describe. You don't want to describe the square foot of a room exactly to where a sofa is on the left and a chair is on the right. We don't need all that information, but you do want to give the reader something to envision. If people are struggling to see what you can see, you've probably lacked some description. Number 5, pacing. This refers to, per chapter, you could possibly just have too many plot points in one chapter. What I would advise to do if you feel like your work has gone too fast is to find each individual plot point and separate them into chapters. By doing this, you'll actually find that you have to fill in the gaps then between these chapters. It will slow down the pace of your work. Don't slow it down too much, but it will slow it down enough that you get more words and your story flows, instead of it being a murder mystery where they find all 20 clues in one chapter and then they know who the murderer is. Number 6, subplots. This does link into characterization. When you are writing a main plot, there should be a little plots that come off. They should all link to the end and have a reason to be there for the main plot, or to be naturally happening, such as 2 main protagonists falling in love by the end. That's just an incidental thing that can happen in a plot, but that is a subplot. You could also have, say, a character who can't read at the beginning of the story. At the end, throughout, they're trying to learn to read, and at the end, they read the one passage which saves the world, or that gives them the last final clue to solving a mystery. Number 7, use beta readers. This can also apply to critique partners. If you have beta readers or critique partners reading your work and they say at one point they didn't understand this section, that probably means you have not described it. You have not put enough detail in there. You know what's going on because you wrote it. You know everything about your world. But the reader is coming at it from an unknown perspective. So if they say they don't get it, look into that. And finally, number 8. Now this is more of a warning. Again, only increase your word count if your story requires it. There is such a thing as a novella. If you've written a novella, that is still a book, and congratulations, you have done it. If you want to write a full-length book, say the plot you have can only do a novella, then write another plot, make another story. You don't need to stretch out a story that doesn't need stretched. Basically, meaningful content, don't waffle. And that's it for my 8 tips on how to increase your word count. I hope you guys found these useful. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Tumblr. I post your own bookish pictures, as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!